the children's book. It's called David.
And whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all in the name of the other one, Yahushua, giving thanks to the Most High and the Father by Him.
That's right. Whatever you do in word or deed, whether it's your action or your thoughts, make sure they're in accordance to the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments. Who are we? We're the Hebrew Israelites, servants and messengers of the Most High. And we are here to bring the Most High's people back to their heritage and nationality, their true identity. And does the word of the Most High is pertaining to who? The so-called Negroes, West Indians, Haitians, Puerto Ricans, Native Indians. Because you make up the lost tribes of the nation of Israel you read about in the Bible. When you read about the nation of Israel, you're not reading about the so-called white people in the Middle East.
That's right.
You're reading about the people you see in your hood every day. People you see walking about in the neighborhood every day. People who look just like you. So-called Negroes. People came over here on cargo slave ships from the west coast of Africa. So brothers and sisters, it's Most High brought you here today to hear this word. So I'm going to ask you, are you familiar with the Hebrew Israelites? For how long have you been aware of it?
Long time. Ever since Ben Ami, go all the way back to Ben Ami.
Okay.
Yeah. Even from Yahweh Ben Yahweh, right back. I was way back. I'm 50 years old.
Okay, can. See, the Most High said what? One man water it, one planted, another water it, and the Most High gives the increase. So you're going to hear this word through your lifetime. You're going to hear this word from what? From one camp, hear a little from one camp, a little from another camp, and another little from another camp, and so on. The Most High building you up, bringing it, nurturing you, and bringing it along the way to the path of righteousness. They get me Isaiah chapter 1. Isaiah chapter 1, verse 1. We are here to bring out the word to our people because throughout our generations, our people have been in gross darkness, man. Been lighted from the youth coming up. But what? The Most High eventually bring this word to the people who we chose from the beginning, from the very beginning. Isaiah 1, chapter 1.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 1 and verse 1. The vision of Isaiah, the son of Amos, which he saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem in the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, Hezekiah, and kings of Judah.
Right. The prophet Isaiah saw a vision concerning Judah and Jerusalem. Concerning Judah and Jerusalem, in these days we're going to consider that the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. There was a vision that he saw pertaining to his people and what would befall them, what would happen to them. Read.
Hear, O heavens, and give ear, O earth, for the Most High has spoken. I have nourished and brought up children, and they have rebelled against me.
Right, here are heavens. The Most High have spoken. He has nourished and brought up children. What children did the Most High nourish and brought up? The children of the nation of Israel, the so-called Negroes, West Indian, Haitian, Puerto Ricans. And what happened to those people who the Most High nourished and brought up? Read on.
The ox knoweth his owner.
Now read the precept again.
Hear, O heavens, and give ear, O earth, for the Most High has spoken. I have nourished and brought up children, and they have rebelled against me.
Right, and they rebelled against the Most High. The Most High nourished them and brought them up, giving them food, giving them sustenance, giving them the word, giving them the Bible. Chose them to be a particular people, a special people themselves. Above all nations on this earth, best position you so-called Negroes, West Indian, Haitian, Puerto Ricans, Native Indians were in. That's what they had. But you rebelled against the Most High. How do you rebel against the Most High? You stop keeping His laws. Stop keeping the Sabbath holy. You still started worshiping the gods of the other nations. Stop worshiping the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments, and start following what? Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, all those doctrines. Start keeping Christmas, New Year's. You stop keeping the Sabbath day. Stop keeping Hanukkah. You stop keeping what? Passover. all those things that pertain to our forefathers, all those things that pertain to our heritage and our culture. You forsook all that and started following the ways of the other nations. That's why our people are in this condition they're in right now. That's why we're confined to the ghettos and the slums all over America everywhere you go, in gross darkness, being oppressed by the other nations. Read.
The ox knoweth his owner.
The ox knows his owner. The ox is one of the strongest animals you can think of. The ox knows his owner. Read.
And the donkey his master's crib.
And the donkey is the master's crib. The donkey is one of the dumbest animals you can think of. But those animals who are supposed to be inferior to mankind, of lesser intelligence, they know their master's crib. They know who they belong to. What about our people? Read.
But Israel doth not know.
But Israel, a special people to the Most High, a peculiar people, a people supposed to be above all nations on this earth. We don't know who we belong to. We don't know that we belong to the people of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We don't know that we belong to the creator of this earth. We don't know that we belong to what? The one who made heaven and earth and all that dwell in it is. We don't know that. That's why we go around like lost sheep, man. Not knowing where our home is. Not knowing that our home belongs in the Middle East, land of Israel. Not knowing our true identity, our true nationality. That's why we are so easily confused, easily swayed. That's why our people caught up in. We were coming over here just now. I know a couple of blocks we saw like a church in every block.
That's right.
And I'm sure all those churches are of different denominations, man. All people caught up in every doctrine every wind of doctrine you can think of. Why is that? Because we don't know our master. We don't know who our master is. We don't know who our power is. So what? So the so-called white man of the church system, they set up all kind of different denominations of Christianity and religion to further divide our people. So we can never even come together on one accord when it comes to worshiping the Most High. That's why what? We will pray. We will pray to the other nations, to society. That's why you're always at the bottom of the totem pole, man. In everything you could think of. What's going on, brother?
Yeah, how you doing?
Isn't it good?
Yeah.
You know about the nation of Israel? You familiar with Israel?
Yeah.
Hebrew Israelites?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know your nationality. Now, what's your nationality if I ask you?
Yeah, if you ask me, I say African American.
Okay, that's what you were taught. That's what they told you, right?
Yeah.
But if I ask you nationality according to the Bible, would you have an idea?
Yeah, like tribe of Judah.
Yeah, the tribe of Judah. Right. Because all those names that they give us, like African American, West Indians, blacks, all those are bywords and that the proverbs that they made up, hide the fact from us who you really are according to the Bible. But every nation of people on this earth today, nationality is recorded in the Bible. Everybody on this earth today descended from a nation that's documented and recorded in the Bible. And we the so-called Negroes who they call African Americans. You're right. You have the tribe of Judah. Understand? You're a descendant of the people who came out of Egypt with Moses. You're a descendant of the same tribe that Christ came from. You're a descendant of the same tribe that the kings ruled. King David, King Solomon. All those great men. Understand? But what? Why are we in the state right now? Give me Psalms 82 and 6.
Bring it out.
But why are we now confined to the ghettos and slums now, being being oppressed by the other nations, being abused by the other nations, struggling? Where should we ruling? Because what? We broke the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments. Give me Psalms 82 and 6.
The book of Psalms, chapter 82 and verse 6. I have said, ye are gods.
The Most High said, you are gods. That's what they said of the nation of Israel. What does the word God mean? Ruler, power, man of power. That's who we were back in the days. Understand? The Most High said, we are gods, man. Meanwhile, we used to be kings and queens. We used to be rulers. Who's men of a high stature. But what happened?
And all of you are children of the Most High.
In order for the children of the Most High, we were gods, men of power, kings and queens, and children of the Most High. But what happened?
But ye shall die like men.
But we shall die as men. We die in our people. We die as men and women. Why? Because they broke the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments. And because of that, just like a father punishes his children when they disobey him, when we as children of the Most High disobey the Most High, he punished us. What was that punishment that they put upon us? Slavery. Being confined to the ghettos and slums, being banished to the four corners of this earth, like a minority. We are a numerous nation, as the sand of the sea. But what? Because we got scattered through the four corners of this earth as a minority amongst each country in this earth. And whenever you're a minority, the majority what? They oppress you. And that's what happened to our people right now. But what? If you call upon the Most High, repent, come back to your heritage, then we're going to come back to a position of rulership. Because it's going to give me, is there more than that? No. Yeah, give me Lamentation 4:22. But the punishment we're going through right now is only temporary. Understand? It's only temporary. Lamentation 4:22. And the punishment is almost over. So the Most High now is raising us up. Bring us back to our heritage. Everywhere we go, we see brothers like you who have heard something of your nationality, of your identity, your true heritage, and who you really are. And you have come to realization that what you've been taught previously were lies, man. Some people have been woken up. And in due time, the Most High is going to bring us out of this condition. All this what's going on right now on earth, this is all temporary. Give me go ahead, read out. Lamentation 4:22.
The book of Lamentations, chapter 4 and verse 22.
Get out.
The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished.
The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished. Let's find out what iniquity is first. Give me Isaiah 59:2. Start from verse 1. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished. What's iniquity? What's iniquity? All right, we're going to read it.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 59 and verse 2. For your iniquities have separated between you and your power.
Start from verse 1. Yeah.
Verse 1. Behold, the Most High's hand is not shortened, that it cannot save.
See, behold, the Most High's hand is not shortened, that he cannot save. Whatever condition of people are in, the Most High can bring you out of it. His hand is not too short that he can reach out to you and save you. If you're falling off a cliff, his hand is not too short that he can reach out and pull you back. If you're drowning in the sea or the river, his hands are not too short that he can reach out and pull you out of the water. Whatever predicament or condition our people are in, the Most High can reach out and pull us. But we gotta ask for repentance, ask for forgiveness of our transgressions, and he will forgive us because his mercy endured forever. Understand? Read on.
Neither his ear heavy that it cannot hear.
Neither his ears heavy that he cannot hear. But guess what though? The Most High's ears are not too heavy that he cannot hear. But guess what? He doesn't hear sinners. Then we're going to go back to Isaiah, then we're going to go back to Lamentation. Proverbs 28 and 9.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 28 and verse 9. He that turneth away his ear from hearing the law.
He that turned away his ears from hearing the law. So when we are teaching you the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, if you turn your ears away from it, and you don't want to hear, what's going to happen?
Even his prayer shall be an abomination.
Even your prayer shall be an abomination. The Most High don't want to hear your prayer if you're not keeping his laws, statutes, and commandments. Understand? So we just read that. Read Isaiah 59 and 2 again.
The book of Isaiah
59 and 1.
The book of Isaiah chapter 59 and verse 1. Behold, The Most High's hand is not shortened, that it cannot save.
The Most High's hands are not too shortened, that he cannot save.
Neither his ear heavy, that it cannot hear.
Neither his ear heavy, that he cannot hear. But he will only hear you if you keep his laws, statutes, and commandments. Understand? So if you're out there doing wicked, if you're out there committing adultery, if you're out there robbing and stealing, if you're out there fornicating, if you're out there not trying to keep the Sabbath holy, if you're out there celebrating Christmas, if you're out there celebrating New Year's, Halloween, and those abominable holidays that the so-called white man and the other nations made up, Moses ain't gonna hear your prayer. Because you turn your ears away from hearing his law. If you don't want to hear his law, why should he want to hear you?
That's right.
Understand? So, in order, his ears are not too heavy that he cannot hear, but he ain't going to hear what you got to say if you're not hearing what he got to say. Understand? That's how that works. So even your prayers are going to be an abomination to him if you're not keeping his laws, statutes, and commandments. Understand? Go on in Isaiah. Read on in Isaiah.
But your iniquities have separated between you and your power.
That's why I said your iniquities. You know what is iniquity? Your transgression have separated between you and your power. Who's our power? The Most High. The God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He's our power. But our transgression of the laws, statutes, and commandments have separated between us and him. You don't want to hear what you got to say because of our sins and our transgressions.